This is Point Izzy, coming in hard and off the card, coming with the flow from the barrio, coming with the heat from the street, coming with the facts to crack backs, and coming with the boom bit to their line ass lips. This is Stevie N Point Black National News, the late and the great edition, and the ghetto edition as well, as we see, because this is how we do. Now today we coming in and we notice a lot of rhetoric about fascism and so forth and so on. But you know what I'm saying, whether you call it fascism or whatever you want to call it, is your choice to do so. But when we look at even that matter, of fascism put on the Republican and saying that they chopping up this and chopping up that, whether it's true or not, it still goes to the same old bullshit. Same as this gentleman was talking earlier. I think it was on one of those channels. I think it may have been Democracy Now! One. He's talking about he had Harry Belafonte in his book. Yeah, because he pulled out the black card. Anyway, and the same thing goes for many other people who is striving to keep the demon Democrats in power. We're not saying that the Republicans don't have some shit with them as well throughout history and time. We know full well that is not true. We know full well that they have done just as the same in many ways and shapes and forms. You know what I'm saying? So don't tell me that it's not so. But it is so. You know what I mean? But at the same time, we still have to look at what it is that's going on in our country, even when we see stuff like what's going on right now in the political circus show. You know what I'm saying? And all this different bullshitical nonsense that seems to be carrying on all the time. You know what I'm saying? But we're looking at fascism. You know what I'm saying? And we see here where fascism comes in, you know what I'm saying? And we're looking at this situation where you know what I'm saying, where you know, the meaning of even the word fascism in more ways than one, often capitalized as a political philosophy, movement, or regime, you know what I'm saying, such as that of fascists or whatever, fascists. The exalt, no, fascism that exalts nations and often race above the individual, and that stands for centralized, you know what I'm saying, autocratic, I guess, government, you know what I'm saying, headed by a dictatorial leader, you know what I'm saying, serve economic and social regimentation and forcefully suppression of opposition. But that's not what we're seeing. What we're seeing is a demon Democrats. This whole, you know what I'm saying, thing is basically, you know what I'm saying, something you've seen coming from the Democratic side. You know what I'm saying? The most typical cited example of fascism, are Italian fascism, from which the name is deprived, and German National Socialism, the Nazi Party. White National Socialists use the term socialist for various a variety of motivations. You know what I'm saying? Ultimately, Nazi Germany did not pursue socialist policies, and in fact, prosecuted socialists. You know what I'm saying? I wonder why. So that's one of the things we see with socialism, is that the fact that the prosecution of socialism on the people also. So when you talk about fascism, in more ways than one, you know what I'm saying, you're looking at, to me, that comes from the Democratic side. Because they're the ones who are with most of these racist extremist groups are will be claiming, or even the Ku Klux Klan, you know what I'm saying, which Biden is a part of, and maybe many others. We don't know. But we still see that on it. And this it will, will define the overstanding in itself. You know what I'm saying? We don't see that in uh, uh, in the political arena when it comes to what is going on. What we do see in the political arena in many ways is the bullshit that seems to be continuing down the road without being abated or checked. So we have to start looking at this from a better perspective. You know what I'm saying? We have to look at this from a way better perspective. And the perspective in which they're telling us doesn't seem to make any sense when we look at the Republican Party and what they're trying to do. So you're labeling them fascism, and you're claiming all type of wrongdoing by Donald J. Trump, but nobody's speaking about the fascism and the racist behavior that the demon Democrats have portrayed in this country for over 47 years, and even fluctuating the Republican Party into the same bullshit when you know that it was started by 150 black men and I guess 12 Anglo-Saxons, according to the historical file. But at the same time, we don't see that. What we see is the Democratic Party in its bullshit and of its fullness. You know what I'm saying? So we have to start to look at this situation for what it is and not just be calling names. We have to also, as a people, choose a side. We cannot choose. And then another thing they're claiming is a lot of this conspiracy shit. You know what I'm saying? And claiming that he was wrong and he should be arrested. But they never mentioned anything that Joe Biden, his son, you know what I'm saying, Hillary Clinton, the Hillary Clintons, or any of their presidents have done. None of this seems to be coming up on the topic. The only thing be coming up today is the Republicans and Donald J. Trump. And that's bullshit. You know what I'm saying? In more ways than one. We see Alan Braggs, chief prosecutor, brags about giving get out of jail free card to violent felonies and murderers. Coming in by I think Hannah, you know what I'm saying, Grossman one day go off to Fox News. There's going to be a lot of this going on as we see. But in this story, we see, the situation where you have just that going on. But when we look at this situation that we see is going on here, when we see this going on here, we see where Manhattan DA Alan Bragg's chief prosecutor, and Meg Reese, bragged about letting violent criminals and felonies off the hook, including murderers using her restorative justice approach to help them avoid incarceration. You know what I'm saying? Fox News Digital found. We know incarceration doesn't really solve any problems, Reese, and during a Peace Institute event in May 2021, the Fox News Digital has previously reported that Reese said criminals are not bad dudes, while simultaneously blasting jurors for believing police officers facing misconduct allegations deserve the benefit of the doubt. You know what I'm saying? In this piece. You know what I'm saying? But Reese went on to describe how the Manhattan District Attorney helped a murderer get out of jail for a homicide victim who had very few relatives. She said the man who was facing a manslaughter charge for killing another person during a violent altercation was able to leave without any prison time. Call it exonerate. I guess he exonerated or whatever, exoneration ready or whatever, who gives up life, but it was an indictment. It was in it was it was an incident between two people that knew each other very well. Well, the case still has what going on, you know what I'm saying? It still doesn't show, but it says he also knew the person, you know what I'm saying, and the person who was charged had substantive misuse issues and misuse issues and other things, and going through the outcome in the case, it just seemed appropriate to resolve to appropriate for restorative practice rather than the causal sentence. You know what I'm saying? So, at the same time, we really don't see too much in this at all when it comes to whether Alan Braggs did this or Alan Braggs did that. You know what I'm saying? Because we know full well that we couldn't load that article. 'Cause the article I was trying to pull up was New York Senate passed statute of limitation bill in wake of Trump indictment, and they're hiding that, and they don't want nobody to see that, so it's not coming up, even if you try to pull it up. I wonder why. All right, now we see here Alan Braggs again on the situation, and we're going to stay on the clown head, because he full of doo-doo then, and he full of doo-doo now just the same. You know what I'm saying? And he ain't saying nothing new. When we look at it, he's saying Stormy Daniels revealed she had 90 seconds, a 90-second blank during alleged Trump trials. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what happened according to the situation. You know what I'm saying? And when we look at it, you know, we really don't care. You know what I'm saying, in more ways than one, but we still have to look at the news for what it is, because when we look at all this fascism and this racism and these so-called trying to use reverse psychology and put fascism on the rightism, you know what I'm saying, and trying to say that they doing this and they're doing that, but you've been doing that shit for years, even changing policies in order to fit. But and another thing, especially to pull out the black card. That's one of the main things they seem to be doing. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these demon Democrats are using black people to use our experience or what we went through and our ancestors went through as a way of putting them in charge, in the face of America, so America can have sympathy, such as what they did with Obama, saying that Mrs. Abbott, was a Obama supporter. Yeah, because she didn't know who the fuck Obama was and what it was about Obama that was evil, wicked, and beastly, if you ask me. And then when she found herself going through some changes and understanding the trueness of what is really going on and taking a hard line look, she changed her mind and went for a party that she figured would be helping out to free up America and make it great again. You know what I'm saying? And believing in that. And what's wrong with that? Because leaving it up to the demon Democrats, we could clearly see it was garbage. But this one is coming in by Rochelle, you know what I'm saying? Rochelle Sharp, one day ago, Independent News, politics, you know what I'm saying? But we see Stormy Daniels speak out